Across the Baltimore region, these ATM thefts have been an almost weekly occurrence. The crime's quick, with criminals taking off before police can arrive. But this week, an officer on patrol off York Road saw one of these smash and grabs as it was happening here at this bank. This boarded up hole is where the ATM at the West Banco Bank in Cockeysville used to be. Now there's $65,000 in damage. Police say a group of suspects ripped the ATM from the wall around midnight Tuesday. A passing patrol officer spotted the group chasing after them and capturing one man. Baltimore County Police just identified him as 18-year-old Kevin Carranza-Portillo. He's charged with second-degree burglary, destruction of property, and theft.
I would probably think it would be like multiple people working together. Like, you do get the copycats, but if you're strategically just crashing into stuff to steal a whole ATM, it has to be multiple people.
Police say they're still looking for 3 other suspects involved in Tuesday's incident. They're also investigating whether the suspects are responsible for any other similar crimes. It's the 4th time this has happened in the county in less than 2 weeks. Last Thursday, someone drove through the front of Security Square Mall at 3 in the morning, hitting the ATM several times, unsuccessfully trying to steal it. The day before that, suspects were successful, stealing the ATM at the 7-Eleven on Beaver Dam Road in Cockeysville, driving into that building at 2 a.m. The weekend before that, on Saturday, October 9th, suspects backed into the front of the Walgreens in Parkville on Harford Road, attempting to steal its ATM, but were not successful.
Thieves tend to specialize in it because it's a particular way of committing a theft. You know, that you have to steal or carjack a car, then you ram it into the front of a business and you hook a chain to the ATM, or you pick it up and you throw it in the back of a truck and you take off and you abandon the car typically.
Former Baltimore City Police Deputy Commissioner Jason Johnson says criminals will keep stealing until they're caught. This week is the first time police have caught criminals in the act. The arrest is a big development. Data shows there have been at least 75 ATM thefts in the Baltimore region since 2020. A spokesperson for Baltimore City Police tells Fox 45, "I can confirm that BPD has been in touch with Baltimore County Police in reference to the recent arrest made in an attempted ATM theft. BPD has made 4 ATM theft arrests since 2020. Shelley Orman, Fox 45 News.
This lawsuit was first filed back in June in an effort to pressure state leaders to clear the backlog of unemployment claims and pay out benefits to all who were eligible. Meanwhile, the state has continued to say that backlog of unemployment claims is due to a complicated system of processing claims that's required by Maryland law.
Good afternoon.
Fighting on behalf of thousands of Marylanders.
Inaction and the insensitivity of the Department of Labor has outraged us and angered us.
The Unemployed Workers Union now says the Maryland Department of Labor is hiding behind legal technicalities in ongoing efforts to resolve issues with the state's unemployment system.
Governor Hogan, Tiffany Robinson, and Venable want to keep this in the dark.
Last month, the Unemployed Workers Union filed asking the Department of Labor to answer questions and provide documents related to the case. The state objected to all of the requests, telling Fox 45 News the plaintiffs' claims had already been resolved and the requests were irrelevant.
We were asking for basic things like how many outstanding claims are there. They would not tell us that. We asked them for their policies for requiring identity verification. They would not tell us that.
But the Unemployed Workers Union says the class action group represents thousands of people and problems persist for many.
They are accountable to only one thing, and that's the people. And when the people ask questions, they have to answer.
As of October 9th, the Maryland Department of Labor said 844,000 claims had been processed since the start of the pandemic. But at the time, more than 18,000 claims were still in limbo, waiting to be resolved.
That's insane. They've had 2 years to get this figured out.
Now a hearing is set for Monday after the state filed to dismiss the class action lawsuit altogether. A judge will decide what's next, and regardless of what happens,
we're going to keep fighting this no matter what.
And the state is still using a private law firm in this case after Attorney General Brian Frosh chose not to be involved. The governor's office telling me it is committed to ensuring that the AG's office covers the cost of litigation. In Baltimore, Amy Simpson, Fox 45 News.
Well, dozens of city prosecutors have recently stepped down from their jobs, and now come questions about the toll those resignations could have on the war on crime. The war on crime is often fought both in the field and in the courtroom. But lately, city prosecutors who normally battle for convictions have been resigning from their jobs.
I believe that most of the issue in that office is the result of mismanagement. People are leaving because they do not feel supported by their office.
Since May, at least 40 staff members at the city state's attorney's office have left their jobs. Some, like Chief Deputy Michael Schatzow, have retired, but others have resigned. And the resignations in the past 5 months amount to 20% of the office's staff. By comparison, Baltimore County has lost 8% of its prosecutors during the same time frame.
A lot of these prosecutors are leaving for other prosecutors' offices. So it's not like they're going to big firms making a lot more money. They are still committed to the work. They just understand that those offices are better run.
Roya Hanna is a former assistant state's attorney in Baltimore and is launching a campaign to lead that office. She predicts the surge in resignations will have a major impact on the war on crime because it could take years before new prosecutors gain enough experience to fight major cases.
They don't need people who are just out of law school. They need experienced trial attorneys. They are having people in homicide who only have a handful of jury trials. That is a huge problem.
We asked the city state's attorney's office what it is doing to address these resignations. So far, no reply. Jeff Abel, Fox 45 News.